and are supporting more electrical formats. So give me just one second here. I'm going to open up a file. We're going to look at this concept of EDMD files, which in many cases are starting to overtake the IDF format. So let's open this one up, and we'll close CircuitWorks for now. Done with this. Got a message box up here somewhere. One second here. Let me close this down. I think I have a message box somewhere that's because of my resolution. So bear with me one second. Let me just kill this, and we'll So here's an example of the EMDB format example where, right, we've got an electrical mechanical design where we have started much of the design, let's say, in SolidWorks. And so when you look at a design like this, it's got some componentry. If we start to hide some of these components, you're going to see that we've got a PC board in here. All right, so we'll just go ahead and open the guy up. So we've got a PC board that we've just decided to start sketching out. It has some components related to it. It's got some information that we want to start to pass off to an electrical person to finish out the kind of the electrical components, the circuit components, if you will, to this design. And so what I can do is I can take the models and the information that I've started to build in SolidWorks, and I can export that to CircuitWorks. So here's that board. It's exported the information out into CircuitWorks. And what I can do then is start to use this EDMD format, and sync it with ECAD. And what this format allows for is it allows for kind of a greater level of collaboration. We can do some things like kicking off an initial even message that's included in the file. So we can say, please create circuit information. Okay, so it creates a baseline and then for the file. At this point, the electrical CAD product can open it up and start to build out the things like the resistors and the other circuitry related items that might be needed. And what's nice about this is that, I don't have the electrical program, but we can fast forward. Let's say that the electrical CAD person has done their job in making sure that the changes have been added and the circuit board has its resistors and things like that. We can then be notified when that is accomplished. So if we just click on our received files here, what you can see is now we've got, let's just say we fast forward, we've got a message now from the electrical CAD, and if we double click on this, what it's going to do is it's going to bring up a split line here, and I can actually look at the proposed changes by ECAD. So when I click on this, it actually brings those items that have changed and makes them present on my circuit board. Okay, which is really nice. And if I like those, I can go ahead and right-click and say I'm going to accept the changes. Right, so it goes ahead and incorporates them in. And then if we go back here, we can say go ahead and build the model. So what happens is now we've incorporated the changes. You can see there's extra items now, extra components. I'm going to choose build model, and it's going to go back into SolidWorks. Okay, so it's going to go back into SolidWorks and now add those components that that were added in the ECAD package. All right, so there's a connection between the two that can happen for back and forth. Now, if you look at this design, and this kind of helps to illustrate the power of an ECAD tool. If we go back to a tool like CircuitWorks, let's say, for instance, that let's hide these, and we'll say that we now need to add a thumb hole into the battery charger so that the batteries can be removed more easily. So I'm going to represent that just as a configuration change here. Say OK, and now we've got a thumb hole in the design. But the problem becomes quite apparent that we've got the ECAD components exposed now that we've added this thumb hole. So we need to make some changes to this. So on the board itself, let's just make some changes. So if we look at this from the top, and we'll move some components around right here within SOLIDWORks. So we'll take this guy and we'll move him up here. Let's move this one up. And just kind of rearrange a few of these items so that they are out of the way of the ECAD, or out of that hole. Move this guy down. We're just making some changes, moving these components around so that they're kind of out of the way. And when we like what we have, maybe we look at the assembly just to make sure that things look good. So we've moved these components around. Let's just validate it in the assembly. Right. So now we can see that we've got an opening. We have no problems with the components being in the way. We're happy with those. And so what can happen now is we can go ahead and export this back out to CircuitWorks. So now the changes have been made. They are represented on the circuit board. Again, we can make a note to the ECAD system, and we can say move locations. Please verify it will work. Right? And ultimately, those update and move to their new location as it relates to the changes we've made. And we can send those back out, and we're good. Just validating, waiting to hear from our circuit board people. So the connection between the two becomes quite valuable in the sense that not only are we able to take in much of the information that a product like Zukin or some of the other circuit board products can create when they export the IDFs. We can leverage all that data and bring it into SOLIDWORks so that we can design around it. CircuitWorks has some great tools as it relates to filtering components. So if the level of detail is necessary on the circuit board isn't necessarily needed in the SOLIDWORks mechanical file, that can be filtered out. And then ultimately, changes that are made in SOLIDWORks can be pushed back either in a format like the EDMD or the IDF file type, either one. So as I said, it becomes quite powerful as it relates to the connection between the two. And so with that, I'm going to just go ahead and open it up to any questions that people may have in the Q&A box. If you want to feel free to type them in, I'll be happy to do my best to address them. And if we can't get to them today, we'd be happy to make sure that we follow up with you, or you can engage your account manager as well. But so we'll go ahead and just open it up to Q&A through the Q&A window if you have questions. I'll also go ahead and unmute everyone for right now. So with that, we've got the microphones on. You can also ask questions if you like. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording for now.